evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my presentation and thank you for attending. I would like to start off today by asking if you've ever found yourself concerned about the shocking rate of released prisoners who are rearrested. Well, today I'm going to discuss and define the high recidivism rate that is present in the United States. Criminals who are released from prison and continue to commit more crimes are problematic for everyone in a community and a country. This is a serious issue that demands attention and action. First, I will begin by giving a brief overview and history of the problem. Then, I will discuss the causes of the problem, and finally, I will discuss the effects of the problem. So let's get started. According to the textbook Essentials of Sociology, A Down-to-Earth Approach, written by sociology professor Jim Henslin, the recidivism rate, which is the percentage of former prisoners who are rearrested, is high in the United States. In June 2003, the Federal Bureau of Justice Statistics conducted a study of 272,111 prisoners that were released in 1994. These prisoners represent the two-thirds of all of the prisoners released in the United States that year. The results of the study show that 67.5% of the released prisoners were rearrested for a new crime within 3 years of release. Additionally, 46.9% of these released prisoners were reconvicted in state or federal court for a new crime, and 51.8% eventually went back to prison for a new prison sentence. Surprisingly, these shocking statistics are nothing new. In fact, according to the book When Prisoners Come Home, written by Professor of Law at Stanford Law School Joan Petersilia, the two-thirds rearrest rate at 3 years has been documented for about 35 years, ever since Daniel Glasser conducted a follow-up study of released prisoners in 1969. Since that time, numerous national recidivism studies have been conducted, and all of them have reported approximately the same recidivism rates. So with that in mind, I'd like to discuss the causes of such high recidivism rates in our country. Each year, hundreds of thousands of prisoners across America are released into society, more than half of which will fall back into crime. What could be the cause of this? According to a public opinion poll conducted by the National Council of Crime and Delinquency, over half of the respondents felt that there were three main reasons that the recidivism rates are so high. The first of these reasons is believed by 66% of the respondents to be because the released prisoners have no more life skills upon release than they did when they entered prison. The second is believed by 58% to be because the experience of prison reinforces criminal behavior. And finally, 57% of the respondents believe that people returning to society from prison face too many obstacles to living a crime-free life. Few of the respondents thought that criminality is inherent. Additionally, an overwhelming 82% thought that lack of job skills was a significant barrier to released prisoners avoiding subsequent crime. Prisons in the U.S. function mainly on a punishment-only system, which can leave released prisoners unable to reintegrate into society upon release. Because prisoners are only punished in prison and not re-taught how to integrate into society without crime, most prisoners resort to going back to their criminal lifestyles. Now, I would like to discuss what effect this has on the people in American society. Again, referring to the survey conducted by the National Council on Crime and Delinquency, of those polled, 74% are somewhat or very concerned about the problem of crime in their communities and their country. 79% are concerned or fearful about the annual release of 700,000 prisoners. According to an article published in the Journal of Criminal Law and Criminology, there is a growing concern over the need to upgrade society's sentencing and correctional policies. This concern stems from the alarming rate at which those released from custody are subsequently incarcerated for new crimes. Now, to conclude, I will review some of the main points that we've gone over this evening. Today, I have discussed and defined in depth the high recidivism rates that are present in the United States. First, I gave a brief overview and history of the problem, then I discussed the causes of the problem, and finally I discussed the effects of the problem. High recidivism rates are a serious issue. New strategies are needed to prevent crime and the rise of recidivism rates. Reevaluating prison systems will prove to be beneficial not only to released prisoners, but to society as a whole. Thank you very much for your time and attention.